Hey there, Kipsters. We're looking at questions 16 through 20 of our 7th grade math practice CST, starting with question 16. Which equation shows the distributive property? So if I'm looking at these, I'll just look for kind of the distributive property, which means I'm looking for a number outside of parentheses that's being multiplied or distributed to the numbers inside the parentheses. I can see pretty quickly that A is the correct answer, because if I have 4 times 3 plus 6, that's really the same thing as 4 times 3, which is 12, plus 4 times 6, which is 24. And so these two expressions are the same because the distributive property tells me that I can use that property of distributing the number on the outside to the two numbers on the inside, and that they equal each other. Example A is the distributive property. Moving on, number 17, which expression is the result of applying the distributive property to 8 times 100 plus 5? The way that you're more used to seeing this is probably just 8 parentheses 100 plus 5. And using the distributive property, you distribute the number on the outside to the numbers inside. So 8 times 100 is 800, plus 8 times 5 is really 40. And so you can see pretty quickly, I could go one more step and add 800 plus 40, but D is the product of using the distributive property. And that's the answer. Moving on, number 18. We're looking at a pool here, or a graph about a pool, and it looks like something's happening to this pool over time. At about 10:30, it looks like, if this is the water level, the pool is empty. There's no water at 10:30. But very quickly the pool is filled up, and by 11 a.m., let's say the pool is about full here. The question is asking, which statement best describes the water level of the pool from 2 to 3 p.m.? So I need to focus on just that time. So if I look at the graph, here's 2 p.m., I'll go up. That's 2 p.m. Let's say the pool is pretty full. Pretty full. But then at 3 p.m., you can see that it's getting less full. So what happens from 2 to 3 p.m.? The pool is definitely not empty, so I can cross out A. The water level is not constant. It's actually changing, so I can cross out B. The water level is not increasing. The pool is not getting more full, so I can cross out C. What's happening to the water level is it's decreasing. There's actually less and less water in the pool, so I know the answer is D. Moving on. Which expression below has the same value as x to the third? I know x to the third really means x times x times x. The exponent tells me how many times to multiply the base. And I can see pretty quickly that that is answer choice C. And that should have been the answer. Moving on. Question 20. Joan needs $60 for a class trip. She has $32, and she can earn $4 an hour mowing lawns. If the equation shows this relationship, how many hours must Joan work to have the money she needs? This problem actually is one step easier than it could have been, because it gives you the equation. So even if you didn't read the word problem, what it's basically asking you to do is to solve the equation. So for you to solve this two-step equation, the first thing you'll do is cancel the constant by adding the opposite of negative 32. Your constants cancel, and you have 4h is equal to 60 minus 32. That's 28. That's the first step. But the second step is to cancel the coefficient Since it's 4 times h, you need to divide both sides by 4. And h is equal to 28 divided by 4. That's 7. And the answer was 7 hours. Another way you could have approached this problem is just using substitution. 4 times h plus 32 equals 60. You could have just tested the answer choices out and seen which one worked. If I plug in that first answer choice, I should see that it works. 4 times 7 plus 32 equals 60 should work out. 4 times 7 is 28 plus 32 should equal 60. Does it equal 60? 28 plus 32 is 60. So another way I could have approached this problem is just by substitution. And again, I would have seen that the answer is A7.